You're watching Monday's Not Just Crew with myself, Victoria Velvet, and part 4, and the final part of Simon's adventure in Lapland during Christmas 2024. You can catch up with the other 3 episodes on our YouTube channel. A full-length version will be released soon. In the meantime, why not help us to help you and subscribe? So for now, why not sit back and enjoy Not Just Crew?
Welcome back to part 3 of part 4 of this extended Not Just Crew with Simon Costello, who's literally just come back from Lapland, and we're just literally reliving his experience because it's such an unusual and very interesting job opportunity that he had there, more than just a job really. So I'll bring Simon back in, and then we're going to go into getting the show ready. Welcome back, Simon, again.
Sorry, just adjust my nipple.
Well, fair enough. You get a lot of frostbite out there, I imagine. Right, so you're safely back in the UK at home. Glad to be at home. I know. So I'm gonna take you back a bit further. So you've had about a week and a half to settle into your new role. You've worked out your digs. We've worked out the pecking order. Very interesting. And then, unlike most jobs, you had to go into sort of makeup and prep. What was that like for the first time? And what I mean by that is, firstly, did you wonder how it looked when you come out? And secondly, did you feel like a bit of a VIP going into makeup? And we'll play this clip while you're giving your answer of you getting ready. Just seeing your name up with all your special what are words they call prosthetics, and beard and this lot. How did that feel?
Oh, like something out of this world, man. It's like the day, like all the makeup girls, the makeup artists, and there was 4 of them. Unbelievable. So they were taking us in one at a time because they were trying and shaping the beards and the wigs, obviously, to suit your face and all that, and get them applied and glued on. So you'd be there. It took initially just over half an hour to get the bead and the wig put on. So you're just sitting there. I mean, you can't talk. That was a bit tricky. So, like, you're sitting there and you're like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to twitch. Your nose, so I keep still. And then the gluing, and then the eyebrows, the colour your eyebrows in. Obviously, the mustache needs to be glued on. Beard, your wig goes on quite easily. That was quite good. And
red cheeks.
Then they put the rosy cheeks on.
I've been there.
This took about initially just over half an hour, but like on a day that you were going to be Santa to go up there, they have to get a bit quicker than that, the girls. So it was like they had to condense it down to about 20 minutes because they're not just doing Santas, they're doing all the elves, they're doing all the lead character elves, the Noisy Nod, the Snowy Boy. They have to get them dressed as well. And another 2 Santas as well, because there'd be 3 Santas on one day. And you all have timing slots where you need to be in for makeup to get that done. So be on time, otherwise they'll give you a good thrashing.
Yeah.
So that first time that I got that put on, where we've got obviously the images where I had that on for the first day, blew my mind. Straight away, I felt really special. I felt in character, and I felt blessed, and I felt privileged to actually be in that position. And it started making me believe more that, it's getting ever closer. It's actually going to happen. That's going to be me, and I'm going to be Santa Claus. And it started making us feel more like justified and, more settled. It settled us down quite a lot, I didn't feel as much as an imposter when I'd started dressing as Santa Claus.
Well, look, I'll pop this clip up here now. This picture. Now, this is you in full makeup with a Newcastle United top on.
That's one of my favourite shots. That was the first day that I had, obviously, the beard and the wig on, and I felt amazing. And just to be able to say Santa's a Geordie was like even more special.
Yeah, I'm surprised that image hasn't been flashed around at Newcastle anyway, and or if it hasn't, you never know in the in the
Yeah.
future, because that was quite image. Certainly gave me a bit of a chuckle. So, like on day one, night before your first show, I imagine you've got, you may have not been nervous. Could have been very very exciting. Um, what time did you go to bed, and did you manage to get some sleep? And what day? What time does your day start?
I was really nervous. I was really nervous because like I wasn't the like on my first day. It wasn't the first day of the Santas going up there. Martin and a couple of the others, they went up the day before. So I was getting, I'll tell you what was really important, getting as much feedback from all the Santas and the experienced people who've been there the year before, and what they'd experienced the day that they were being Santa. I listened. I asked as much as I possibly could to try and draw off their experience, and that would settle me down. So like I would know kind of what to expect more, and then I listened to all the different Santas' accents, to how they were as well. I used to take all the energy from the elves who were around us and the lead characters, and I would take as much as I possibly could on board and put that into developing my character as Santa, and that settled us down. But the night before, I was so nervous, but I still managed to get a good night's sleep. But I was up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, in makeup for 7. Obviously, once you would get your costume on first, and then they would put like that around you, because obviously you can't put stuff over your bean and wiggle to start possibly coming off. And then you're basically just sitting around waiting for the vans, the blacked out vans, to take you to the Santa's houses.
Wow. So you've been taken in his van. Are there elves with you, or are you just Santa by yourself? Yeah.
No. It's like you'd be in there with, say, 4 other elves. The vans are blacked out because at this point all the guests are obviously on the resort. So if anyone's going around, they can't see that they're putting Santa up in the Mercedes Vito. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you've got to keep a low profile, and it's worth noting as well. The week before the Santa started, that's when the guests start arriving. So you're in lockdown at that point, so you can't leave your cabin at all. You know, and if you've got to stay in your quarters, because it wasn't so bad for me because I don't look like Santa Claus. Like, you know what I mean? There's no beard, there's no Santa Clausy. The accent's definitely not Santa Claus. But for some of the others, it's a no-no. They can't go anywhere near where the hotel guests stay because they'll pick up on like the character. You know what I mean? That you don't want to turn up into Santa's house and go, "Oh, I saw him buying 6 cans of Stella in the supermarket yesterday." You know, it's like, your Santa was thirsty.
No, that's true. Fair enough. So so you're in this blacked out vehicle, you arrive at Santa's house. How does it work? Similar to an aircraft, you've got sort of pre-flight checks or pre-Santa checks. And how long are you in that house before guests start arriving?
There's no pre-flight checks, just basically trying to calm your nerves down, because you know the first like family's gonna come through that door in about an hour's time. So you're up the Santa's house about an hour before everybody starts arriving. It is cold. It is cold in there. So you need to get the fires burning, trying to get some heat into the house, because the houses are big. It's like a proper house, you know. So you need to get some heat in there. You're having like a cereal bar, because I can't eat anything with the beard and the wig on. I can have a cereal bar. That's kind of like what my food is for the whole day. Nothing else. I can't have pot noodles. It'll get all over me yak hair, you know.
No cups of tea, warm drinks.
No, because it might spill, drip. You've got to have stuff through a straw, which was just basically juice. And then you're just sitting around waiting. Going through your script, trying to picture what the families and what the kids are going to throw at you, because you know what kids are like. They can ask anything, any question at any time. Some could be quiet, some will never shut up, but you've got to be totally on your game, because like they ask you so many amazing weird things. It's crazy.
And I was going to say, right, so it's quite an emotional moment. So I don't know if you hear vehicles up, or what was it like when you first we'll go through Santa's house in a minute. Funny enough, that's what they did anyway. But we'll go through that bit in a minute. But when you first heard those children's voices, did the nerves really hit in, or was it like, right, okay, right, adrenaline rush, time's over, action?
No, it was like, oh shit. Here they come. There's no turning back now. That's what I was thinking in my head. But I was like, right, just come on. I could hear them going through the house in the different rooms. I could hear all the different elves doing their bit in the prospective rooms that they were in. I could hear how amazing they were. And I'm like, oh my God, that elf is smashing it. Like Sparkles smashing it. You know, Blizzard smashing it, because all the elves have got their own unique names as well. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Oh, the kids, I can hear the kids going, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, hello, Blizzard. Have you seen the reindeers? Have you seen Santa? And like, I know they're going to come and they're going to see us, but they don't know that. They don't know they're going to find us. So
well, okay, in that case, hold the thought. Talk us through, because you've done this role about a million times now. But say something from the first time. I pull up a car with my kids. Tell me what happens from my point of view.
Well, they actually come up on a sleigh, so I can hear them coming up like on the sleigh via the snowmobiles. The snowmobiles is pulling the sleigh up with the families in there, so I can hear them. I can hear them coming to the building. I can hear them knocking on the door. The elf opens the door. They're like, "Oh, hello there." You know, it's like, you know, Timmy, Sophia. You know, welcome to Santa's house. Santa's not in at the moment, you know, but we can show you around the house. So I can hear that in the distance. I can hear them moving around the house, going in the different rooms, and I'm just sitting there in my room, my secret magic room, until they go through the magic bookcase to meet me, you know. So I would say there's about an 8-minute kind of process from them coming to the house before they actually come in to see me.
Yeah. Oh no, I was going to say, I mean, and that must sound so magical. And whose reaction are you looking at first? Are you looking at the children's, or are you looking at the parents watching the children's reactions? If that makes sense.
Yeah, total. I mean, like the kids come in first, like, you know, like the elves will get the kids to go down down the staircase. It just depends which house you work in that day. Like one of the houses is on the flat, like a bungalow. 2 of the other houses are down a staircase. So
here we have my office. Now, once again, you might think it's changed a little bit, but look what we have over here. Say hello to my wonderful, beautiful, hard-working elves. Hello. This is wonderful. Now, as we move through here, I have 2 incredible people. Now say hello.
Hello.
To everybody here from Lapland.
So good to see you.
This is wonderful. Now, do you do some cheeky things maybe?
Yes, I can do it. Look.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, right. This is the wonderful Rudolph. Have a look. Employee of the month. But as we walk through, we have all these wonderful, beautiful reindeers of mine. As you can see, they are all very special to me. I love my house so much. It's where I get all my work done and see all of my children's letters. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I will take you through here, but you have to be very quiet, because nobody knows I'm here sometimes. I have to be very quiet for my elves. Only my most special elves see me in my office. Now, this is where we come. This is my library area, but you can also sit around and read incredible books under the Christmas tree. And I sometimes sit in my corner there when I'm not in my office, just relaxing, reading my many books. Obviously, I have to keep nice and warm, so my fire is there for my elves to keep me warm. And I do not think I do nothing, you know, just because I'm Santa Claus. I do many things. But this is where I have my dinner parties also. We have some very popular dinner parties. Sometimes Mrs. Claus comes. Sometimes parties she does not know anything about. So they are my favorite and most special ones. So these are just a few of my rooms in my wonderful Santa Claus's house that you have been lucky to see.
So the kids will come down the staircase and I'm sat at my desk pretending I'm like reading a book, going through the naughty nice list book, whatever. And then like I'll see the kids first. So they normally come halfway down the stairs and just stop.
Yeah.
They see you, they're like, Santa Claus. And then I'm looking at their face, and then I'm obviously like, I'm because I know the names beforehand. I know who they are. I know a bit of the backstory about the family beforehand. I've got to learn all of this in a few minutes.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you do that with every family, obviously, before they come in. So you've got a short window to process as much information as you can about this family. And some of them, as you can imagine, have got some incredible stories, and it's been hard for them for the last year. Anyway, that's a different story. But then straight away, once the kids are through, and I've either like embraced them, I've hugged them, or they've come in for a hug and all that, and then I'm leading them from that area to another area where they'll sit down next to me. I always look at the family's reaction as well.
Yeah.
I love to see their reaction, because that's priceless as well, because it's just as important for them as what it is for the children. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, for whatever reason, you know, it's important for the whole family. So I like to see their reaction. And that's why, like, I don't just talk to the children, I'm talking to the whole family there, and giving them the experience as well, because it's not just about the children. It is mainly, but like, it's about the family. And like, it's not just your usual 2 adults, 2 kids, you know, Trev. You might have the parents, the grandparents, 4 kids in the room. You could have up to like 14 people in one room. That's a lot of names to remember.
I was going to say, so let me ask you this. That first time, did you ever look at a kid and ever get what we're always terrified of as crews, having like a imposter syndrome?
No, was it. I just went straight in the character. And after, honestly, the first family, my adrenaline was pumping so much. I was like, next, just come on, next. Like, you know, I want to do it again, you know. And it's like, don't worry, Simon, you're going to be doing it a lot. But it's just like, this is really good, because you've got a time frame, you know, from when they first see you to kind of like what you've scripted, what goes on in the Santa's office, and then obviously they have to leave because the other family's on the way in. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's you've got this time frame to stick to, so you're very conscious of that as well. But this is where teamwork comes into it, because you've got your wonderful elves in the same room with you, and you're working together as a team, because obviously they need a photograph taken, they need to be given a present, you need to chat to them, and then kind of like, you know, right, we're kind of done here, you know, like we're next family, but, and you know, a little bit of an exit script, and then do it all again.
Yeah. Oh, and then did you ever have any? And I know you're an absolute professional, so you probably wouldn't. But did you have any problems ever pronouncing any of the names?
A lot.
Or getting the names wrong.
Yeah, you got a lot of Irish families coming in.
Yeah.
And well, there's some special names there. But what's really good about the company that I work for, even like all the names, and if it was difficult, were broken down of how to say it. Phonetics. So you'd get like a list, you'd get like a little bit of paper of the children's names and how to pronounce it, like, you know, like how you should say it. So they didn't just give you a name that was just all letters. It says, this is how you say it. The elf would say, this is how you say their name. It's like brilliant.
And,
really,
go on.
No, it was just the teamwork. And just it was amazing. I was blown away by how professional the whole setup is.
Yeah, and when you saying about the briefing, you get a briefing of each family. Are you giving that on the morning or the night before, so you can start practicing?
Yeah, you're given a manifest the night before of like how many families and how many people are going to come through to see you on that day. So you've got all the family names there, but on the day, you just think, right, I've just got to take one family at a time. So before that family come, you've got like the letters from the children that they've written themselves, but they don't know you've got these letters.
No.
You know, like, oh, you've got my letter. Santa, you've got my letter. And like, obviously, you've got like the things that they want for Christmas, which we like, some might have 2 things on there, some would have 200, and you're like, blow my neck. And then you'd like have like who the best friends are at school, what they've done well this year,
Oh wow, yeah.
So like some heart wrenching stories of like how they'd lost some of the grandparents and they were really close to, and like could you give them a special mention as well, but without the child knowing that you know this from a letter. So you're trying to memorize as much as you can, talking to the child, and like they're like, how did you know that? How do you? Santa knows my best friends. Santa knows my dog's name, little Timmy. And like, how is Timmy?
Magical, yeah.
Magic. And you're like, when you see the faces, they're like looking at you, and then they go, you know my friends, my school teacher, my school, all of these things. How do you know this, Santa? He said, of course I know. I'm Santa Claus. I know so many things about my children, and the minds are blown, and because you see them like believe, you're like, you're nailing it, like.
Yeah. And you see
just to jump on the back of that, when you're saying these to the children and then you look at the parents and then you're seeing them, and some of the parents are in tears because they're seeing the reaction of their children of how amazing this is for them. They're all emotional because they're seeing that they've provided this for their children, you know what I mean? And they're caught up in the magic of it. And then you'll acknowledge to the mum and dad, oh, you have such wonderful children. You must be so proud of your children. And they're like, yeah.
I mean, are they crying about the credit card bill that's to come because of the holiday, or just the genuine joy that was worth it?
The genuine joy.
Of course. Right. So you've gone through a typical day. So how many times would you do this in a day?
So let's just go a typical session. There would be, say, 12 families come through, varying. You might just get two parents, 1 child. You might get 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 4 children, 6 children sometimes. So that would be 12 times per coach, times that by 4. So you know what I mean? You've got 48 occasions where you're doing it. Obviously, the bigger families, the more tricky it was, and they'd be in the room a lot longer because obviously you're talking to each child and giving a present to each child. And like I say, some kids, they like to talk. Some just sit there and not say much, so it would just take various different times.
Yeah. So, okay. So your last family leaves. You said there was a slight exit script for, What is, go for a typical exit script.
So basically, like once you've done the presents, once you've done the photos, where the elf takes the photos and the family take photos, sometimes families like the video as well, then it's like, okay, like, just one more thing before we leave. I want you to promise me that you say nothing to anybody, because like, obviously it's a secret that you found Santa and nobody needs to know where he is. But I want you to have more fun before you leave. Go outside with all my wonderful elves, have fun in the snow, and promise me you'll have a wonderful time over this Christmas, And then obviously, then the door is kind of to the left, then the elf will go, okay, my friends, it's time for us to go now. Santa's very busy. They'll open the door, and then obviously that's time. They're going out there. And then when they go out of that door, there's more character elves there, and they're like, oh, you found Santa. It's like that kind of, that, and then that's it. The door's shut, and then you've got to reset for the next family.
Yeah. Sorry. The last child's gone out for the day. You hear the snowmobile going. What'd you do? Sit down and have a cigarette, and after that?
Oh my God, the girls would kill you if you smoked with your beard and your wig on and all that. No chance. You're basically just sitting there. Obviously, all the families have gone in quite a distance away from the location. So you're waiting around the house, maybe it's 45 minutes before the whole scene is totally clear. And then you'll get the sleigh back down to where the transport is, the vans and stuff like that. into the transport, back to your cabin, basically, wig, beard taken off, or get a face massage, which was quite nice.
Yeah.
And then that was you done for the day. Have a nice couple of beers, which are not cheap.
How long does it take to take the makeup off? I know it takes a while, but I'm sure they don't just rip it off today. Is there a
no, about 10 minutes? It's got to come off very carefully because it's glued on, and obviously that's your wig, and you've got to keep wearing it the next day or whatever, you know. So it's got to be carefully taken off, mustache carefully taken off. So that takes about 10-15 minutes as well. Excuse me.
Yeah. And so, what does Santa do in his downtime in the evening? An off-duty Santa.
Off-duty Santa. Well, that's interesting because once you've drunk your 4 litres of duty-free that you purchased at Stansted Airport, which I might add doesn't last that long when you're away for 6 weeks, you kind of like there is. Luckily, where I was, there was a shop nearby. But like obviously, if you're in lockdown, you've got to get other people to go to the shop for you. And they've got like their beers over there, by the way, Trevor. Really, really nice. You know, expensive, but really nice. I mean, like for 6 cans, you're looking at about like £14. You know, out of a shop. But like the beers are really nice, and they're not weak either. Like they do an 8% beer, and they do a 5.2% beer. So they're quite strong. So you would literally just have, once you've had something to eat, you would have a couple of beers on a night time and just like relax, man, relax.
Yeah. And is it? I mean, are you on duty every day, or is there like one complete day off?
Yeah, you would have like 1 complete day off or 2 complete days off after you'd worked 2 days. So obviously, the day that you finish, you can have a few drinks that night, and then you can just have a nice lie in the next morning and basically just relax, you know, get up as late as you want. And the accommodation was really nice. The beds were really comfy.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, did you get used to sort of having to share a room again? I mean, I know you mentioned right at the beginning of this program. I mean, that must have been sort of hard, especially if one of you's on duty and one of you's not, and they're getting up early and you get a chance to have a lie in.
Well, this was why I was really lucky to be like room sharing with Martin, to be fair. He didn't snore. I don't snore. He doesn't sleepwalk. He doesn't sleep talk, which I know a few other Santas did. And he was really quiet because he used to like staying up quite late. Not a drinker, but he wouldn't like to go to bed till about 1, and I was in bed by about 11. And he'd be really quiet coming in. He was really respectful. So when you've got somebody sharing a room like with him, it was enjoyable. And obviously, we both loved our football. We're both the same age, same kind of humour. So it was like I made a good friend. You know what I mean? So like, you know, it's like that's what made it enjoyable, and that's why I find myself really lucky, because that is really important, because that could make or break your experience. Because I know a couple of the other Santas, they were in a room together and you know, snoring, sleep talking, sleepwalking, you know, it was kind of a bit of a problem for some of them, but like not for me. It was really good. But like on a night time as well, Trev would have like movie nights as well, you know, like the elves would like put a big sheet up, they had a projector, would put movies on, would do quizzes, would have party games. Sometimes we had parties, you know. It was like a really
Why not? It's Christmas.
Yeah, of course it is. It was a really good fun like environment to be in, you know. Once like I'd got over that first week and a half and settled into my groove, it became more enjoyable, the whole process, you know, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Like,
yeah. So moving on a bit now. So we're coming to say the last couple of days of December the 23rd. Was that the day of your last visit to that, or was that the day you actually sort of came home? Did you wrap it all up on the 22nd and fly home on the 23rd? That's what I mean, in short.
Yeah, got you. No, so what had happened, remember my official title was a floating Santa. So a week before it was all supposed to be ending, like you said, 22nd was my last official working day, and that was going to be my Make-A-Wish day. So I was going to have a Make-A-Wish coaches coming through, which I was really looking forward to.
Oh,
That's my reindeer dog.
it is.
You know? So that was going to be my last official day, and it was going to be the Make-A-Wish tour coming in. I was looking forward to doing that. I was really looking forward to, like, I know it would have been a hard day, but I was looking forward to kind of like delivering and making everything magical for them. But because I was the floating Santa, something happened to another Santa at a different resort the week before. So that they asked us, well, because this is your role, Simon, like, we're going to have to ask you to go to another resort. How do you feel about it? And I'm like, well, I'm fine. You know what I mean? It's my job at the end of the day. So it's like, I'm happy to do that. So I moved completely away from everybody who I was, like, you know, at home with,
Yeah.
to a different resort, Suomi, which was a lot quieter. And I spent my last week there at this totally different resort. And that was a big adjustment because it was totally different to where I'd been. Whole new people to meet yet again and to get used to. But it was only for the last week, and I still enjoyed it because
I bet.
Quiet.
I mean, in football terms, was that like a free transfer?
Yeah.
To a different resort, yeah. Having to get to know, it must be so hard getting to know everybody again, especially as you're only going to be together a week. Well, I mean, it sounds, and I'm sure they weren't. I won't ask what happened to the last Santa, but did you see any apprehension about them having to get to know a new Santa? I mean, I'm talking about the elves. And that, like.
Well, that was it. It's getting to know a new Santa and how he works and what makes his mind tick and what he's going to be like with them, the characters, and obviously the families. So again, like on my first shift at the new resort, like the manager, he was there on the day, but he was like listening in, like from a distance, at like how I was, like as Santa. And literally after like 3 families, he went, right, I'm going, I'm happy. This is perfect. This is just what we need. Keep doing what you're doing, Simon. No problems here. But you know what I mean? So then I just like did my last few shifts at Suomi. The accommodation was totally different. That I had my own house.
Oh wow!
So me and this other Santa, Bruce, we had our own house, our own bedrooms, double bed, our own sauna in the house, kitchen. But it was miles away from anyone else. You know what I mean?
Is this the clip we've got coming up now where you'll run out into the snow from a sauna? That's his house, yeah. Have a watch this. I'll talk over this while the clip's being shown. You're very brave.
Stupid.
Well, you obviously got something to film it, but did you think you had to go through it because it was being filmed, or were you going to go through it anyway?
No, I was literally in the sauna. Yeah. And I was just thinking, do you know what? It's hot in here.
Yeah, funny that.
It's 110 degrees.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be quite funny if I just went straight from the sauna through the living room into the snow? Now, I know it can be quite dangerous because you get frostbite from going them temperatures, and it can burn you because obviously it's freezing.
Of course.
And I knew this anyway, so I wasn't stupid. That's why I didn't stay in it lying there too long. And I just sent Steve, who was there. I went, mate, video this, will you? I says, I want this for my own, like, kind of reference. And so, yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, well, you're meant to get quite a dopamine adrenaline rush.
Oh, yeah.
From that. No, it looks amazing. But so in that case, you must have got on with everyone, even then, you know, your second home. Right. So, close of play. 22nd of December, 2024. You're all packed, and from what I understand, you said you lost a bit of weight as well.
Yeah, because obviously you're in lockdown and stuff like that, and the food over in Finland's really weird. It's they like the meatballs and they like the mash.
Yeah,
they like the noodles, Sabo noodles. A lot of them knocking around, and they like chicken nuggets. Well, I'm not really a fan of chicken nuggets. It was a lot of like what I would say like young people's food, you know, because it was catering to like the teenagers and the young 20s, and they like the burgers and there was a lot of pork. But I'm not really a fan of the food over there. No curry, Trev.
Oh no, it should be illegal.
Oh,
should be a place of human right.
And they love the red cabbage coleslaw. They look weird food. So there was a lot of times I didn't bother. I would just have a pot noodle, you know.
Yeah.
So I did lose. I nearly lost a stone. I put it
Yeah.
all back on now, like, you know what I mean? Coming back for Christmas,
Well,
you
too
know,
right.
not one pork scratching in Finland, in
No.
Lapland, no bags of pork scratchings. And obviously, because it's so expensive, the alcohol, I wasn't really drinking that much either.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and okay, so you're packing up. I'll talk about your return flight in a moment. So you packed up.
Right, so this is my last shift today. Halfway through, just done 2 coaches, 16 families on the first one, 11 families on the second. Just having a bit of a break because everything's all timed, but everything managed to keep it ticking over all nicely. Got a good system going, but it's brilliant. So just to see the kids' faces when I'm telling them they're on the nice list, because I'm saying, I have something very special to tell you both. Yes, you are both on my nice list. And they get very buzzing, you know what I mean? So just to see their faces like light up, it's great. So yeah, halfway through, just 2 more coaches to go. Enjoying it as usual. Going to be sad, obviously, but it's like the happy sad stuff in it. It's like I'm going home tomorrow and I'm dying to get back to see me family, just to see me dog, just to see everybody and spend Christmas Day together. I've been away a long time. It's like be 6 weeks, just shy of 6 weeks, but everyone's amazing, absolutely fantastic. So just 2 more coaches to go, and then I'll check in with you then.
It must have been strange that, you know, all of a sudden all these characters all packing up and becoming themselves again. At that point, did you start to miss it? Because I know when we sort of chatted afterwards, you said, you know, you can feel down after a few days after these things, and I've had that experience myself with other things. But at what point did you sort of, it was confirmed in your mind, this is it?
it was like, you know what it's like when you get nearer the end anyway. It was like I was trying to kind of like savor every moment of being Santa with the children and the family as much as I possibly could, because I know it was drawn to a close. And then other emotions I had, just get me home. I'm ready to get home. It's just before Christmas. I've missed my family. I want to get home. Just get us on that bus, get us on the plane, get me on the train going home. Because it's all the faffing around, isn't it? You know what it's like. Packing, faffing around, you're putting off the inevitable, and everything's out of your control because you're getting ferried around. And I like to be in control. It's like, right, once I know I'm going, I want to go. You know what I mean? But like the last day of being Santa, I took in every moment with every family and just immerse myself in all of that emotion. And that is definitely something that I enjoyed on the last day. But once that last shift was done and I was back there, I was packed, I was ready to go. The next day couldn't come quick enough. I hate saying goodbye to people. I can't, it's like, I find that so hard. I'd rather just like, I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm out of here, because everybody's in the room. It's like hugging and there's tears. It's sad. And it's like, right, come on, let's just go. But it wasn't until I actually got home and like, it was the 23rd. I got back to Newcastle at about like 9:30 at night. There's no snow. There's Christmassy. Didn't feel Christmassy. You know what I mean? The best bit was about, right, I'm looking forward to Christmas Day and being with the rest of my family in that Christmas Day. But because there was no snow and it didn't feel wintry, I was like, where have I come to here? Where's my snow? Where's my cold? Where's my reindeers? Where's my elves? Where's my beard? Where's my outfit? And I started getting withdrawals about not being Santa Claus anymore. I'm thinking I'm Santa here. I'm Santa.
Yeah, do you know who I am?
Why am I not feeling Christmassy anymore? I'm bloody Santa, It's like, yeah.
I was going to say, coming home, I assume it was Jet 2 again, may not have been. what again? Was that a charter flight? The only reason I say that is because you said you had to say all these goodbyes to people. Were a lot of them not on the same flight as you?
Well, it was all the new resorts, like Elves and all that. They were on the same flight, but some people stayed behind as well. Not everybody came home on the same day. Some people came about a week later because obviously there's still activities going because they're still doing the Santa on Christmas Day. So
Oh wow!
3 Santas stayed behind and did the Christmas Day. So obviously they need elves, they need rangers and all that. But the Jet 2 crew who brought us back, I put a post out a couple of the day before in Not Just Crew, like, is anybody on our flight, you know, bringing us back from, I forget which airport it was, and what, like, a couple of our members in Not Just Crew were crew on the flight bringing us home.
Oh, wow.
So like, you know, I was having a bit crack on with them and stuff like that coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a mix of different resorts coming back on that flight on the 23rd. But yeah, everyone's just kind of done by that time. They want to just get to Gatwick because we're landed back into Gatwick. They just basically wanted to get the cases and just get going.
Yeah. So what time do you actually sort of walk into your door at home?
About 10 o'clock on a night time. And it was basically, I was a good boy. I washed all my clothes before I came home, so that didn't need doing. So basically, case, boom, in there, had something to eat, went to bed, decompressed a bit. Yeah. Next morning, I was up bright as a button, sorting my case out, get everything put away. It's Christmas Eve, and just kind of like, right, let's get ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Where's the elves?
Yeah, no, exactly. Right. Quick question on that. Obviously, it's Christmas Eve, and do you know what? My kids were young. I used to love Christmas Eve way more than I did Christmas Day. But at that time, were you craving more of a curry or a Christmas dinner?
Curry all day long, mate. Curry. Oh my God, it's like I just wanted curry. I wanted me vindaloo. I was absolutely gagging for me vindaloo. And do you know what? On Christmas Eve, I ordered one, but my usual Indian had gone from like I'd only been away 6 weeks, but because it was Christmas Eve, the order went from like what normally be 20 quid to £45 on Christmas Eve.
Wow!
I just went, what? I went, I've already been gone 6 weeks. And he was going, oh, my gas and electricity's gone up. I went, no, I'm not paying that. So anyway, I phoned up somewhere else and got it cheaper again. I'm not paying £45.
Oh, I know. God. Or Witherspoons. Witherspoons always do quite a cracking curry.
Yeah, but I've not been to Spoon since I've been back. I'm trying to be good.
You still haven't been, no?
No, I've not been into Spoons yet. I don't think I have anyway. No, I'm sure I haven't. No.
Wow.
But like that's something we talked about a lot when we were in Lapland. Oh, I miss Spoons. It's so cheap. You know, it's like food. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, Simon, that's been quite an amazing an adventure. Same next year, or any plans for that?
Absolutely. I've already been asked back. It's apparently it's quite rare to be asked back straight away, but like, I mean, I believe it when I see it, you know, contracts and stuff like that. But I've been asked to go back, and I did say I want to go back to Lowestoft, like where I was initially, because that's kind of like my kind of personality, my feel. But
will you be moved up the pegging list for Santa's? Or
well, Martin, he's definitely going to go back as well. So I'm hoping I'm stipulating in my contract that I want to share with Martin again. But the good news is about all of this, I did speak to the management while I was out there, and I did tell them all about what we do with Not Just Crew.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So many seasonal people who work for various airlines would love to do, not the Santa gig, no, that one's mine, but like to be an elf or a ranger and to spend 6-7 weeks out in Lapland and experience what I've experienced. Yeah, it's hard work, the rangers and the elves, really hard work, but it's so rewarding, and you get paid to be in Lapland. You know what I mean?
What about those members of Not Just Crew who have been crew, maybe laid off for the winter, out of the season? Are there jobs, not in an acting role, but say maybe working in the hotel bar, the catering and restaurants that don't require those acting skills?
No.
James, Witherspoons it is then.
No, like the people who work in the hotel are all like locals in
right, okay.
Working there. but there is roles available. You just got to keep your eyes peeled. I mean, like as soon as we get wind of it, we'll put it out there. But
Yeah.
for team leaders, like you know, and like Arctic Stars, they're called. If you've got a personality, you know, Arctic Stars are basically the ones that are at the front of the bus, talking to the whole bus capacity, doing the elf song, getting everybody whooped up into a frenzy, getting the kids all crazy, and getting the parents all interactive. They're called the Arctic Stars. Yeah. So, like, you know, they have a really pivotal role in the customer experience as well. But like what I told them all about what we do. We have people who we can provide them with the best people to work out there, and they were like very interested to know more.
Yeah. No. Honestly, I think it's a really exciting opportunity. I can see you've totally enjoyed your experience. It's been. I mean, you've just got to prove you're literally not just crew. So what's that? You're taking a couple of months off now?
Yeah. Well,
not just crew side, but the
I go back flying for the summer. Start date April. So yeah, I've basically got January, February, March off. But obviously, I want to do as much as I can with Stewie at Simfly.
Yeah.
We can get on location. We can go places. We can interview people. Get more shows out there, and I try and get people recruited for the jobs that they actually want to do out there. So that's what the aim is for the next three months.
Oh yeah, of course, and we'll be having an interview with Holly, head of NJC recruitment, anytime soon. Well, look, Si, it's been great. I think this is probably one of the longest shows we've done, but every bit of it has been worth it. I say it's been strange not chatting to you. Yeah, go on.
Tell you what, I've got to touch on. Like, oh my goodness, just to see the Northern Lights on a regular basis. With your own eyeballs, I mean, even you and your eyes would be able to see.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah,
you know? But like to see the Northern Lights just dancing around, like majestically, in some of the walks you can do out in Finland, like away from the guests.
Yeah,
incredible, absolutely breathtaking. It's like something you just see on the photo pictures and on the TV, but to actually walk around and like experience it yourself, and there's nothing, you can't hear a thing. It's just quiet. It's just quiet, and you're like, it's quite eerie, but you get used to it. The scenery, unbelievable out in Lapland,
and no light pollution, I'd imagine. So you've seen the full set of the cosmos, really, the universe.
You get like these alert people, like some of the crews would have these like Northern Light alerts. Oh, they could be coming out, so everyone would rush out, and then you just see them dancing around, like in the sky, and you were just like, what on earth this is magic, man, magic.
Yeah. And what's the score with yellow snow out there? Can you really eat it?
Well, I didn't mean no harm.
All right, look, Simon, thank you so much. Honestly, it's been a brilliant show, and honestly, I've really enjoyed that. It's been strange not chatting to you for these while you're out there. It was but we could see you were full on, and you kept everyone informed, but it was nice to hear it all from the man himself, Santa even. We'll catch up soon, and everyone else. I mean, this is such a long show, so we might have to split this into three bits, but we'll do what we can, and it's been great. Simon, we'll catch up soon, and guys, you've been one quick thing. So I tell everybody, we are now with Go Explore Radio. We're going to be doing a show called the Weekend Brunch, so you can catch us every Saturday from 10 till 1. Yeah, and we're doing I think we've got to do, just because it's studio time, we're doing a couple of shows by ourselves, then we should be back in the studio together. So join us every weekend. Go Explore Radio. It's a cracking news station aimed at the travel industry. Right, okay, that's it from me, Simon. Any final words from you, my friend?
No, listen, only final words I'll say, if there's something out there that you're looking at, don't hold back, just go for it. Because, you know, if you don't try, you don't get to experience all these things. And we're on this mortal coil for only a short period of time. So just throw yourself into anything that you want to do, because you know what? You're not just crew.
Absolutely. What a fantastic point to leave that on. Right. Other than that, cue credits. 2, 1.